Hi, good evening. Welcome to December and welcome to the December I-10 Connect informational meeting. Tonight you're going to find out about the upcoming traffic conditions, what to expect for the rest of the month of December on this project, and the impacts that weather may have. Additionally, I'm joined by Martin Bartlett, who will take you through all this, Jorge Orejel, who's the TxDOT engineer on the project, and Rudy Elias, who is the SUNT engineer on the project. So sit tight, and you're going to learn a lot about what's coming up. There are some very impactful closures that we can expect coming up right next week. So we're going to go through those and the detours right now. Martin?
Jennifer, thanks very much. Yeah, a lot coming between now and the end of the year. We'll go ahead and just dive right on into it. As we always do when we talk about this project, every month, the first Tuesday of every month, we're here on I-10 Connect, elpaso.com, and on Facebook. Just kind of want to remind everybody some of the nuts and bolts of the project in case this is your first time joining us. Of course, the I-10 Connect project is a project of the Texas Department of Transportation. SUNT is the general contractor on the project. Consor is providing construction management and inspection services. KCI, Kennedy Consulting, actually did the design work, the plans for the project, and Barracuda Public Relations, the company for which I work, is assisting TxDOT with the public involvement during the construction phase of this project. This is a project that's valued at approximately $97 million. Construction began all the way back in February of 2019, so we're approaching rapidly the 2-year mark. But again, a total of 3 years were allocated for completion of this project. Let's go ahead and kind of dig into what the project entails. If you've not driven by the Spaghetti Bowl lately, a lot has changed. And a lot of the things you're seeing in this rendering that we've been showing you electronically for months now are actually coming to fruition out there in the real world. Everything you see in blue on this map is a new bridge or bridge segment, a total of 16 bridges or bridge segments being built as part of this project. And really the thrust of this project is making sure that if you are at the Spaghetti Bowl, you have the decision, do I want to just go to US 54 to get to Loop 375, or do I want to go directly to the Bridge of the Americas? When this project is complete, and actually now, when the project is complete, all traffic will make that decision at the Spaghetti Bowl. Where are they going to go? Do I want to go to 375 or do I want to go to the Bridge of the Americas? Let's take a look a little bit further south, immediately north of the Bridge of the Americas area, and kind of burn this into your brain because you're going to see some pictures that will illustrate another viewpoint in this area here in a moment. The big change you'll see here is that all access from Paisano to the Bridge of the Americas has now been removed. So if you were trying to get from Paisano to the Bridge of the Americas, you have a pretty lengthy detour to follow to do so. So the best bet, the best thing you can do to get to the Bridge of the Americas now, come from I-10 or US 54, follow the marked Juarez detour down to Interstate 110, that short freeway spur that leads down to the Bridge of the Americas. We're going to, again, kind of show you what this what the situation looks like now here in a little bit, but this is what the ultimate configuration when all is said and done will be immediately north of the Bridge of the Americas. We're going to fly through the project here in a little bit and show you some of the driver's eye views of what you'll see when the project is completed. All right, so here we are flying again. We're kind of high above the Spaghetti Bowl, looking to the south. This is going to mimic what you just saw, where all those blue bridges and bridge segments kind of come in. And the big thing, again, that you'll notice there at the bottom of the screen, kind of bottom off to the left of center, is that idea of those ramps will begin to split. Historically, all ramps going to Juarez took you towards Juarez. You could get off at Paisano. You could go to the Bridge of the Americas. But when this project is complete, if you take the Juarez exit, you're bound for Juarez. If you take the Loop 375 or US 54 exit, you'll head straight down to US 54, or rather to Loop 375 via US 54. We're going to continue flying south, kind of turn the camera lens a little bit. You can see the El Paso Zoo there at the top of the screen. As we continue working our way south, that line of traffic you see there at the very bottom of the screen, again, all traffic when this project is complete, heading to the Bridge of the Americas will come via I-110, that freeway spur which leads down to the Bridge of the Americas. And you'll see there a reconfigured and reconstructed interchange with Paisano Drive, carrying Paisano east and west over I-110, but not allowing access from Paisano down to the bridge, so nobody can cut in line if they're heading south. We're going to take a driver's eye view now. This is coming from downtown heading to the lower valley. The ramp we're going to take right now is closed, and frankly, a lot of what you're seeing us drive on right now has not been constructed. So if you take that, maybe kind of take that ramp to US 54 right now, you'll see this ramp doesn't exist. What we're going to do now is, rather than follow that silver SUV, we're going to go off to the left and move over onto the main lanes of US 54, which will allow us to go all the way south down to Loop 375. That really is the connect in the I-10 Connect project, allowing traffic to more seamlessly connect between Loop 375 and I-10 there at the Spaghetti Bowl. All right, so we're on 54, we're heading south. You see there is an exit to go to Paisano if you want to go to the Coliseum or to the zoo, you can take that exit. But again, no access from Paisano to the Bridge of the Americas, even if you were to take that exit. So how do you get to Juarez? Well, we'll show you that kind of coming from the vantage point of coming from the east side. All right, so this ramp where the red SUV is right now, it still exists. It's just closed to traffic right now. But of course, we probably all remember this ramp from many, many years of travel in the area. We'll come across the highest point of the Spaghetti Bowl. And we're about getting to the point now where, we'll show you this in a minute, this section of the ramp has been removed and is being reconfigured to allow for traffic to go off to the left, to go to Loop 375 via US 54, or to do what we're going to do, which is continue in this silver SUV, following that silver SUV, following that red car, heading down to the Bridge of the Americas. So again, all traffic will use this newly reconstructed roadway to get down to the Bridge of the Americas. And as we continue heading south, there'll be some other really important changes that you'll notice. Namely, all traffic, whether you are a truck, whether you are an automobile, you will go through the lowest level of the I-110 and go under Paisano. No more need to go through those traffic lights, which we know allows for some vehicles to kind of cut in line at the last minute and also slows down traffic heading off towards the Bridge of the Americas. So all that's what's coming up. Let's take a look. I believe we have some photos of actually the situation in the field right now. So a lot of the times roads will close and you may not understand why a road is closed. This is not one of those cases. There you can see that bridge, which carried Paisano Drive east and west over I-110 just north of the bridge for 50 years, is now gone. So that is why Paisano is closed to through traffic between San Marcial and Gateway South. There is no bridge carrying Paisano across I-110. We have another picture from another vantage point showing something very similar. Again, you see a lot of work to remove that bridge, that 5 decades old bridge. And when it is reconstructed, it'll actually be reconstructed at ground level. So rather than having 3 levels of the interchange, there will only be 2 levels to the interchange. That's a function of removing that access from Paisano to the Bridge of the Americas. So that's one thing that is very impactful and has been closed. We want to talk about something which will begin to open up as the year goes on. So this is something that if you've driven in the area, you've seen in real life. This is a rendering, but you've probably seen it in real life. So we're looking to the north right now along US 54. That roadway that crosses east to west, left to right in the middle of the screen is Paisano Drive. What you see there in green is a new direct connector that will allow you, if you are coming from eastbound Loop 375, so let's say you're leaving downtown trying to get to the east side, this bridge will allow you to go Loop 375 directly to eastbound I-10 at the Spaghetti Bowl. This will be one of the very first things that opens up newly constructed as part of this project, expected to open between now and Christmas. We'll talk to Rudy from Sun Construction a little bit more about that later on, but just know that a lot's been closed, but there's also some opening coming down the pike as well. Of course, there's still a lot of work to do all around the project. So that means a lot of smaller closures. That Paisano closure, for example, a very long-term closure. But we do have our typical slate of kind of nightly closures that we want to dive into starting later this week. So we can go ahead and take a look at the maps. We'll take a look at one of the closures coming up next week, or rather coming up later this week, will be closures of ramp N and ramp O. So whether you are coming from Loop 375 eastbound or westbound, all traffic going to the US 54 will have to follow a marked detour onto Gateway North on Thursday night. Taking a look at another closure coming up on Thursday night, Alameda Avenue closed under US 54. So whether you're going east or west on Thursday night, you'll have to follow a marked detour. So Thursday night is a big night for overnight closures this week. Then we have some big closures coming up next week as well. So we'll take a look at the next map, which will show you not a very detailed detour, but it is going to be a big impact. Let's see, that'll be westbound I-10 closed from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. 1 week from tonight between Piedras and Cotton. So the detour, simple enough. You get off on the gateway, which is Missouri Avenue, and then re-enter I-10 westbound a little bit further down. This is for work on one of the lane management system installations that we talked about earlier in the project. So that's a week from tonight. Then a week from tomorrow night, we flip the script and do it on the other side of I-10. This one was going to be more impactful though. So I-10 completely closed between about Copia over to Reynolds Street under US 54. Those lane closures though on eastbound I-10 will begin back almost as far as downtown. So while the closure itself is right there at 54 and the detour is very familiar going up Loop 375 through the Pershing turnaround, still very important. If you don't have to travel in that area, avoid that area if at all possible, because those lane closures are going to go way, way, way back to downtown. This as well is about creating space for crews to safely work in the median of I-10 on a lane management system installation. There are 3 being installed around the project, and we have a video to describe what those lane management system signs are going to be able to do.
These new lane management system signs on southbound US 54 near Pershing may look like beefed up versions of these signs, which have displayed digital X's and arrows over the freeway for years. But once they're operational, these new, bigger digital signs will be able to display arrows and X's and do a whole lot more. TxDOT's TransVista Center can use the LMS signs to display full-color route shields to give drivers more time to change lanes to get to their exits. The LMS can also display more robust, lane-specific information to help motorists navigate around crashes, congestion, and even assign specific lanes for freight traffic. These new high-tech digital signs are being installed at 3 locations around the I-10 Connect work zone: on southbound US 54 near Pershing, on southbound US 54 near Trowbridge, and on eastbound I-10 near Cotton Street. Stay up to date on the I-10 Connect project by visiting i10connectelpaso.com.
So those 2 lane management system installations complete on US 54, not turned on yet. These closures that you'll encounter coming up on Tuesday night and Wednesday night of next week, again, allowing room to work on that lane management system installation on I-10 eastbound approaching the Spaghetti Bowl. So those are the closures, the kind of typical overnight closures we have coming up this week and next week. But we have kind of an atypical overnight closure coming up on Thursday of next week. We want to go ahead and share with you as well. If you are coming out of the Bridge of the Americas, coming northbound, all traffic has for quite a while now and for quite a while into the future been detoured to take a right turn immediately onto Paisano Drive coming out of the Bridge of the Americas. That will remain the case on Thursday night, December 10th, but crews are removing an overhead sign installation there, and all traffic, again, will have to use that detour, but there will be instances overnight on Thursday, December 10th, when all traffic will have to stop. There'll be a flagger out there letting traffic know they have to stop so certain construction activities can take place. So if you're coming across the Bridge of the Americas northbound on Thursday the 10th, you'll be able to make it across the bridge, but once you get into El Paso, you should expect delays depending on when you come through the area, if the road is temporarily closed for a little while to allow crews to complete those activities. So that's going to be a very impactful closure that we know. Again, there's not a lot of room to detour folks in that area, so it's just going to be a matter of waiting if you cross during that 9 to 5 p.m. window. So those are the upcoming closures coming up kind of throughout the project. Again, just a reminder of the ways you can stay up to date on this project. Of course, i10connectelpaso.com is really the central hub for information for this project. At the top of the page, what I would recommend, if you really want to stay up to date, you can sign up for our e-newsletter, or also super important, we've been using them a lot lately, text message alerts delivered directly to your phone, whether you have a US number, a Mexico number, or you prefer to receive your messages in English or in Spanish. We can get all of those to you if you sign up through i10connectelpaso.com. We're also here once a month having a virtual community meeting, first Tuesday of every single month. And that means our next meeting is, believe it or not, January 5th, 2021. Believe it or not, we're moving forward out of 2020 into 2021 here very soon. So again, Jennifer, that's kind of an overview of what's coming up around the project over the next 2 weeks. A lot happening. Of course, we've been talking a lot about major long-term closures, but for the next 2 weeks, it's really just kind of a matter of have your head on a swivel, because there are going to be a lot of just nightly closures that'll impact your travels if you're heading out between 9 p.m. and 5 a.m.
That's right. And especially on those I-10 closures that we have coming up, those are really, really going to put a hitch in your get along if you're headed not so much eastbound, but that westbound closure next Wednesday night is going to be really impactful at the early hours of the evening. If you're out and about 8:30, 9 o'clock, I would use another way, because that is really going to slow you down, and it can be quite frustrating as traffic merges down to one lane and then is all ushered off at a certain exit. So, but we did have the good news, Martin. Thank you for letting us know that we could have a ramp opening from 375 eastbound to I-10 eastbound, which is going to be super convenient. And that's really the whole reason behind this project. So it looks like we're more than halfway through. And we have with us, of course, Jorge Orejel, the TxDOT engineer, and Rudy Elias, the stunt engineer on the project. If anybody has any questions on those, feel free to enter them in the chat on the Facebook, and we can address them now, or we can address them later if we don't get to you and you're watching this later, of course. Now I'd like to ask, as I always put them on the spot, our engineers, if they have anything they'd like to add and to talk about what they can expect, what we can all expect from this project through the end of the year, and then maybe beyond. If there's any general statements about it that you can make, we'd appreciate hearing them. Jorge, let's start with you.
Yes, Jennifer, thank you. Well, thank you everybody for listening to this update on the project. The very first thing that comes to my mind is the safety, pedestrian safety within the project. Please keep in mind that TxDOT has established a assigned pedestrian route for all the people that goes into the international bridge and comes from the international bridge. There's a lot of people who drop off their relatives or friends at the international bridge so they can cross the border, but we wanted to cross the border safely. And that's why TxDOT has spent all this money and done all this engineering into providing a safe pedestrian route. So please follow those pedestrian signs. Also, I would like to mention that next year, hopefully, is the last year that we're going to be in the project. Right now, we have shut down, like Martin and you said, Jennifer, we have shut down any access to the international bridge from Paisano. So all the traffic will be on US 54. So I want people to be very conscious that we're going to increase the queue on US 54. Okay, so when you're traveling in US 54 and as you approach I-10, please be conscious that you may be getting to a stop point because of the traffic, okay, especially during peak hours. So that's gonna be affecting your daily commute, especially if you use US 54. And we'll be updating you in the coming months on how is that gonna be affecting the overall traffic on I-10. Thank you, Jennifer.
Sure. Thank you, Jorge. Really good point about the pedestrian access. People always need to follow the detour signs, whether they're walking, cycling, or driving in a car, and be very mindful of their surroundings. We do have concerns about US 54 southbound. Watch for brake lights. Always pay attention when you're driving. Never exceed the speed limit, and just stay alert and always drive to conditions. Never drive distracted. Never drive drunk. So, Rudy, I think that you have some deep knowledge on how this project is going and what we can expect in for this month to be accomplished, and then what we expect for the next couple quarters into the new year.
Well, the bad news is we have one more ramp to close, and that's for milestone 2. I'll start with the bad news. After the holidays, we plan on closing ramp F, I believe, or ramp H, which is the eastbound to northbound US 54. And that's going to take probably about 6 or 7 months to construct that bridge. The good news is starting December, we're going to start opening up ramps. Going into January and February, we're going to start opening up a lot more ramps. So, we'll start with Bridge 8, which is from Loop 375, headed to I-10 US 54. Temperatures cooperate. We plan on opening that before Christmas. And then after the holidays, like I said, we'll close Ramp H, but then we'll open probably a handful of bridges after that by February.
Did you just say that we're closing the ramp northbound 54 from I-10 westbound?
From I-10 going eastbound.
Oh, eastbound. All right. So there are ways around that. I just couldn't fathom the other way. Okay, very good. Well, thank you for clearing that up.
Mm-hmm.
And so again, the finish date that you expect on this project, Rudy, is going to be
It'll be
in the fall?
it'll be early fall.
Early fall 2021. All right, you heard it here, folks. All right, great. So
Remind folks about is the impact that weather has right now, especially given, concrete does not like cold weather. And I think maybe that's something Rudy could probably talk a little bit about, that, the best laid plans sometimes don't get to occur because the weather impacts them.
yes, Rudy, have at it.
Yeah, we're experiencing, cold temperatures right now. And because of the spec, sometimes we have to push our placement of concrete. Like we're doing this week. We intended on pouring a bridge deck, but with the temperatures not cooperating, we're having to push that till next week. Also with the striping, the paint doesn't stick to the concrete when it's cold. So we need more favorable temperatures. That's what's holding up the opening of Bridge 8 is, the temperatures. So can't change Mother Nature. We just got to wait it out, wait for that opportunity to stripe or place concrete. But hopefully next week.
Well, we have been experiencing quite favorable temperatures up to now. So I know that you guys have been going great guns on the project, and people always wonder if that's going to set us back. But of course, weather delays are always built into the timeline of any project. Martin, do we have any questions in the chat?
So we don't so far not received any questions via email. Just want to remind you, info@i10connectelpaso.com. If you email it to us within the next couple of seconds, we'll see it and answer it. If not, we'll get an answer to you as quickly as we can. Also, you can post a question or comment in the chat. We do have a comment in the chat that's probably my favorite comment in the chat. Somebody who just says, "I miss El Paso." Well, we miss you too. But again, do feel free to send any questions you have either in the comments in this video, email info@i10connectelpaso.com. You can also reach us via our bilingual project hotline, which is 855-463-1010.
That's right. And you can always go to i10connectelpaso.com and stay up to date on this project. Sign up for all the alerts that you care to. And also you'll go there and you'll find out that our next meeting of this informational virtual meeting will still be virtual by January. Will be on January 5th. So until that time, we hope that you stay safe. You have a wonderful holiday season. Don't take anything for granted as far as safety with your family. And we look forward to seeing you then. And you can always reach out with your questions in the meantime. So on behalf of the Texas Department of Transportation, I'm Jennifer Wright. I would really like you all to have a wonderful, wonderful, safe holiday season. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Rudy. Thank you, Jorge. And thank you, Joe Nájera behind the scenes. Appreciate it. Y'all take care.